Alright folks, kinda impromptu, but it looks like the game has actually begun. This time I'm going to be joined by Vivek. Are you with me, Vivek? Vivek, are you with me? Panic. Okay, I don't think Vivek is here. He's probably going to join sometime along the way. But the game has gotten underway, as you can see on your screens. The draft has begun. Execration versus Signify is up next. It is going to be a best of one. I wish I had more information about the format, but I believe some of you on chat are saying that Signify is out, or maybe they're not out and such. So, you know what? I'd recommend not taking too much stress about all of these things. Let's just enjoy the game for what it is, a Southeast Asian Dota match with an Indian team in the mix. A PH versus Indo-PH OS matchup, if anything. Execration, the all-Filipino team versus Signify, the team with a mixed breed of players. Execration gonna open up with the Earth Spirit and that Batrider band, so removing an OVA and an Extract favorite, while Signify responds with a Nature's Prophet and a Lich band. So they've clearly had trouble dealing with this Nature's Prophet ever since their game versus TNC. They're not gonna leave it in the pool. They don't want to deal with it directly. Game has begun. Jump in whenever.
It's a little.
5 seconds.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now, Vivek. Can you hear me?
Dire team pick.
What
Okay.
a champion. Can you hear
That
me?
little hiccup. But yeah, Signify not taking their chances. They sense they don't have what it takes to deal with a well-coordinated draft built around a Nature's Prophet. We saw that earlier on today.
10 seconds.
Was it
Execution's turn.
can't quite what TNC that ran the Nature's Prophet as well as the anti-mage, and they struggled versus that hero. And of course, since we do have the ability to connect with some of the players on the side of Signify, they just said we're just going to ban out the Nature's Prophet and not take their chances. But they're going to go back for the Night Stalker, which OVA played versus WG Unity and had a reasonable amount of success with.
So I'm also getting an update that okay, about the format. I'm getting
I can't hear you.
okay, this is on you, man. You know what, let me just try and
Hello?
rejoin the Discord channel.
Okay, I'm
So
just
that
assuming my audio died, and I'm going to play around with my microphone a bit.
Alright, Vivek, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I could hear you all along,
Okay.
and so could the
Okay,
stream.
I have no idea what's going on. Feels like we're back in the days of ham radio operators. But yeah, back to the draft. We have a Night Stalker pickup. Signify ran that earlier on. And they're going to ban out the A, so we won't see any Chronospheres into Ice Plus at the very least. I was quite surprised by how Signify did in their game versus WG Unity. I mean, WG Unity had a whole lot of team fight. And despite what Gambit referred to as very single target heavy lineup coming out from Signify, they could still deal with all that team fight for a reasonable amount of time. But a couple of missteps coming out from Blizzard ultimately led to them losing that game. And now they're on the verge of being knocked out itself. They're basically hoping that somebody does as poorly as them if they hope to stay in the regionals, right?
So I've been told that one team per group progresses towards the next phase, and if they've lost 2 out of 3 games, that essentially means that they're not going to progress anyway. God, I wish there was like a freaking website that said this is the format, this is how it's done, this is what happens if you win, if you lose. We have no clue what the formats are. We got to know the groups like a few hours ago because it was on Liquipedia. I don't know, man. I'm really ticked off about the way this
It's like
tournament's
the
been
American
communicated.
election. Nobody knows how the president is elected, and everybody just accepts what the country dishes out. So we're still figuring out how this tournament is run. It's a little hard. I mean, I'm so badly missing a table right now. I've never cared for tables, but all I want is a simple table telling me what's going on in this tournament.
Really.
Anywho,
But I'm,
we
I'm
know
getting
that
word
Signify-
that if Signify doesn't win this game, they're probably not going to have matches tomorrow as well. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, let's not speculate so much. Let's just talk about the game at hand for now. You've got Void and the Nyx coming out for Execration, while Night Stalker and Rubik come out for Signify. So Signify's going with that Rubik pickup. We've seen OVA play a lot of that Rubik, so I wouldn't be surprised if No Chance takes up the Night Stalker here.
I think it's no chance, Rubik. Yesterday during excuse me, yesterday during
10
the open
seconds
qualifiers,
remaining.
no chance did play the Rubik. So I think it's a no chance Rubik.
5 seconds remaining.
Alright, third pick on the board for Signify. Let's see whether they're going to go ahead and pick up some more vision-based heroes here.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do see the Venomancer being banned out as well as that Batrider in the first phase.
Mm-hmm.
You could have a Templar Assassin coming out from them. I mean, okay, they're going to go with the Queen of Pain. So mobility is what they're going to prioritize here. I like the Queen of Pain pick. It's not too shabby versus... well, it's not too shabby when you have a Night Stalker coming into the fray with you, but Execration goes for the Oracle pickup as their third choice. So that's going to be an Oracle at the middle lane to shrug off those early Shadow Strikes, which means that we could be seeing an unconventional middle laner here.
Someone who otherwise wouldn't do well versus the Queen of Pain that might need the help of the Oracle. Is that
Yeah,
what you're thinking?
I'm actually thinking something like a melee pickup, maybe an Ember Spirit here? Or what
Okay.
else could work well with the
I think
Void?
Templar Assassin struggles versus the Co-op. The Ember, like you mentioned. I'm thinking of heroes that might need help versus the Co-op, if that is indeed the role that the Oracle is going to fulfill in this game.
Huh? I'm a little confused about what's going on here because it's usually Crowley that plays that Bloodseeker at mid. But I would assume this is going to be a mid Queen of Pain with now what seems to be a safe lane Bloodseeker. This was unexpected to say the least.
Remaining.
I mean,
5
if the
seconds
Bloodseeker is out of
remaining.
the chrono, at least he's going to drop the Blood right on top of the chrono and maybe force Execration to rethink their team fight. There's also the fact that the Queen of Pain can very quickly bring heroes down below the thirst threshold, and that could get the Bloodseeker up and going in fights. I'm not a fan of the Oracle pickup as a response to the Queen of Pain. I mean, I understand that the Oracle could really help out the mid lane, but I'm also a little worried about the Oracle as one of those heroes that really struggles versus high mobility cores. The Queen of Pain could just jump on top of the Oracle and blow him up before he
So,
could get the false promise.
There's also the possibility that we're reading this wrong because they usually pick Crowley's hero towards the end and they pick Extract's hero earlier on. So this is a possible off-lane Queen of Pain, which we haven't seen in a long time. In which case we could still be looking at a mid Bloodseeker and Blizzard's hero will be the last pick. Now I wouldn't be surprised if something like a Morph lane came out here as their final cheese pick, or you know, perhaps even going back for the anti-mage for the extra mobility and split pushing potential. But what else does Blizzard usually play on the safe lane?
Dire team ban.
He plays the Morph lane, he plays the Ember. Oh shit. That's at least 2 heroes with GPM talents there.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is going to get scary for Signify as the game goes later and later. Ridiculous GPM talents on both of those.
Execration's turn to ban.
And we're seeing a last phase Monkey King ban from Signify. Okay, I mean, that's one of the heroes that has some synergy with the Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
Could benefit from that empower and pretty much
You know, you did talk about how the Oracle is, in your opinion, not a great response to the co-op, but I beg to differ, man. I mean, the way Root works and the Blink that gets cancelled out, I think Fortune's End is going to have both offensive and defensive value versus her. It's not a
You know
terrible
what?
choice.
It's good in lane, it's good in the laning phase, but come mid game, the co-op is just going to burst down the Oracle. I mean, that's the easiest target, and the Oracle cannot move or respond quickly enough to
Not
such.
really. I mean, you've got the Fate's Edict to prevent magic damage output from hitting you as well, so...
Yeah, Fate's Edict, cast point. I don't know. This is my read, but yeah, Execration, they're just going to round up the draft with an Invoker pick. So there's a whole lot of team fight coming out from Execration, and now Signify. I mean, what hero really fills the gap in their lineup at this point?
What a valuable game to have a Sunstrike in your
10
arsenal here.
seconds remaining.
You've got synergy with the Void, synergy with the roaming Prowling Nyx, synergy with the Stray Fortune's End, and obviously the Magnus Invoker Wombo combo, or the Void Chronosphere and Invoker Wombo combo is something that needs to be feared on the side of Signify. Now, to throw a wrench into these plans, they could attempt something cheeky, maybe a Silencer pickup as their final choice, in which case they run an offlane Night Stalker, and then pick up a Silencer as their secondary support. Alternatively, they're still looking for initiation, and they're still looking for a tanky frontliner that can stay on the front lines as opposed to the Night Stalker who likes to skirt in and out of battle. If it's still an offlane pick that they're looking for, I'm thinking a Clockwork wouldn't be terrible.
Puck?
Puck's banned.
Oh, my bad.
Maybe even a Slaughter on the offlane again. It's questionable. Bristleback is something that comes to mind as well.
But one thing is for sure, this is truly one of those games where the Rubik could shine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are the drafts that make highlight-worthy moments out of a Rubik, and no chance or whoever's going on that Rubik. This is their game to shine. Last pick for Signify, and they're going to pick up the Underlord. So
Okay.
it is a mid-queen of pain.
Yeah, it's a mid-quap, X-Drag on that offlane Underlord. It worked really well for them throughout the open quals, so, maybe this is something that gets them, or rather nets them their first win in the regional quals. Whether or not they make it through to the playoffs of the regional quals, I think just taking a win of Execration here would be a real morale boost for the team. A team that's recently come together and has recently had a lot of backing and support behind them as well. For those of you that are unaware, Signify is actually a team based out of Mumbai, India, with professional organization backing it, as well as a full-fledged suite of support staff. So they've got a lot of backing, a lot riding on their shoulders. And, I'm sure there's a lot of pressure on them to perform here and make something happen. One thing's for certain, though, they have been doing really well for an Indian team on the Southeast Asian circuit so far.
Yeah, I mean, whatever happens, somewhere in a footnote in Liquipedia, this is where Indian Dota started to make an impact in the international scene.
Well, to be fair, there has been another team that's made it this far beyond Infinity, and all Indian squad did that once upon a time. But I mean, I really don't understand this mentality that we seem to have in this country, where it should be an all-Indian team. Why? I mean, Dota has transcended borders. Esports has transcended borders. There's barely any teams in the world, or any successful teams in the world, that has 5 players of one nationality among them. I mean, I don't see why that should be a factor in the first place.
Nationalism. Anywho, I'm just excited for some good Dota, and I'm going to try my darndest to keep the bias out of it. I'm going to give a quick disclaimer. I mean, I was actually banging my keyboard and throwing tea at people while Signify lost the previous game. Let's hope I'm a little more civil this time around. But yeah, for what could possibly be the last time, I'm going to start by running through the roster on the side of Signify. We got No Chance going to be handling that Rubik Nightstalker in the hands of the captain over. Blizzard going to be going to the safe lane with that Bloodseeker. Crowley on the mid lane with the Queen of Pain, and that leaves us with X-Rag playing the Underlord.
They're busy spamming like fun all chat stuff. Look at the random Blizzard kuch kuch hota hai in the middle of all the Pinoy chat. This is too good.
They're actually singing the Kuch Kuch Hota Hai song.
Oh my god, dude. Are you joking? Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's Execration, familiar with the lyrics of...
Tum pas aaye. Big shout out to the guys, man. Amazing stuff. Yeah, so Crowley and Chemo actually met at, I believe, the ROG Masters last year when he was playing for Entity. And that's when Chemo and him got fairly friendly. I've heard some horror stories and some fun stories coming out of that trip, so
Oh yeah.
there is some history between these two. Well, let's do a quick introduction of both sides, but it's so hard to do an introduction on the side of Execration when they've got their names all over the place. Why don't you start with Signify?
Seconds to battle.
Is my voice fading out? Because funnily enough, I already introduced Signify.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have zoned out in my head then.
Okay.
I mean, I was just switching overlays and such, so it's very
I
likely
agree.
that I just zoned out somewhere in the middle.
Anyway, I would do it again, but Signify... I mean, the Nyx Assassin has no fear. Emo doesn't remember the good times, and he's trying to contest this rune elsewhere. Hodo's actually walked up. He's got the Oracle to back him up. There's the Fortune's End. Crowley pushed to put a skill point into Blink.
Yeah, that's really not a nice way to start the lane for Queen of Pain. I heard a smoke being popped again, so Oma's actually smoked up and is looking for a wraparound here on Invoker. Invoker's not going to know that there's an Observer Ward. I mean, he's not going to know that the Night Stalker's heading his way, but what's the point? They don't even have a Shadow Strike to work with here. I guess with the Rubik you could still make it happen.
It's hard. I mean, he's put the point into Exort. He might have a
Oh, he's gonna get the lift off. They have the void. They will get the slow. Iron Branch is gonna be consumed here as well. So the extra regen will kick in and they won't get a kill. What the hell was that impale? He catches all three and then a Sunstrike will get first blood. Unreal stuff coming out from Execration. He's even gonna survive and get a kill on no chance. That's just the worst way for Signify to start this out. Lumic
debated.
even gonna cancel a clarity now.
I mean, the Invoker lured No Chance deep into the tower and gave No Chance the impression that he could secure the kill. While he dove into the trees, popped a Sal. No Chance had already taken too much damage from the tower and ended up falling as well. Crowley though, he's gone Dawa in the mid lane. He just jumped behind the tier 1. Invoker trying to get that force up and going, but Crowley does manage to secure a return kill.
Yeah, that's the greed coming out from the Invoker. I mean, Crowley did sense the opportunity there because the Invoker popped his salve to stay alive for that first kill. So Crowley had a chance to go in there like that. But it's still, I'd say, a slight advantage tilted in favor of Execration. The only real issue is that Invoker missed a couple of creeps, the EXP and the gold under his tower. So that gives Crowley a bit of an advantage now as time progresses. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Blizzard is getting hammered here by this Magnus, who doesn't have a skewer at the ready, but he's got a shockwave if he wants to commit. Every time that Blizzard enrages, he's just gonna go and right-click him.
Both teams have a draft which speaks of a lot of early game action here. And No Chance, he's just been patiently camping in these trees in the off lane, hoping to soak some EXP, get that point in Fate Bolt, possibly try and make a play on this void.
Lumic with an Invis Rune spots out this Bloodseeker. There's the Impale, but the Sunstrike's a tad bit too late. They're going to use the Skewer as well as a Shockwave here to try and get this. Look at Blizzard trying to juke left and right to dodge the Shockwave, but unfortunately it's not going to work out for him.
Bottom lane, they've got the Oracle control, but not enough damage just yet. The Firestorm is only going to push the creep wave under the Radiant Tower. Cop a little bit of damage.
Well then, I am a little unsure about what the
Mid
game
lane,
plan
they've
is
gone
here.
on the Invoker over. I mean, his void's on cooldown, but the Shadow Strike, 2 points in it, more than enough for Crowley and Nova to team up and secure the kill.
Alright, finding some signs of life here. Signify getting themselves that secondary kill on the Invoker, and this time there was no backup for him as well. Ova's been on point with those rotations towards the middle lane, but Lumic is still a threat that hasn't been dealt with. He's up to level 3 as opposed to the Night Stalker who's level 2. That's gonna change soon though, and it is about to hit the first night time. So Ova, you can already see he's making a trip towards the base so that he can have mana and HP to work with while he goes hunting. Crowley, what are you doing? That's one way to cancel out your clarity.
I'm not sure. He saw Lumic on the high ground, but popped a clarity and went down either way.
Alright. Oracle meanwhile just pulling the creeps to the side so far, trying to get the equilibrium in their favor while Void's farming up. He's at 16 and 4 CS, so he's not doing terribly bad versus the Underlord, but Underlord's got himself a decent 15. I believe some of those were neutral kills though. Nighttime is upon us, and Signify gonna start by rotating into the Radiant Jungle to secure a bounty rune for Ova. With that, he hits level 3 and he's still holding on to the point to see whether he wants a second point in the Void or one into the Crippling Fear. Crowley did make a base trip, so he's going to come back to the lane fully replenished. With Ova coming in from behind, he's got an Illusion Rune as well. They're going to start off with the Shadow Strike, the Ice Wall placed masterfully to block him out, but the high ground is still in favor of Ova. No Vex points available, so Invoker's going to suffer his third death here at the hands of the Queen of Pain.
A rough start for the Invoker in the mid lane. I mean, the Oracle tried his best with the Fortune's End, but it's not enough to keep the Invoker alive. Top lane though, the Magnus is off to a reasonably good start. I mean, he's actually atop the CS boards. Both side lanes are doing extremely well. It's a stalemate of sorts. I mean, both the safe laner as well as the off lane are pretty even in terms of CS. But Magnus did get that one solo kill on Blizzard.
Magnus in trouble himself now. He doesn't have a skewer for another 6 seconds. Blizzard doesn't have a blood right, but they're just gonna beat him to bits. With 3 points in the thirst, every passing hit gives him more damage for the next one. And finally, Blizzard managed to find some sort of reprisal, courtesy Ova once again. Ova is completely dominating this early game, man. He has been everywhere, scoring kills all over the map.
It's just a minute into nighttime and Nova's already scored 2 crucial kills. He's restored some semblance of balance in the safe lane, and he's only made the Invoker for
Extract. Copying a couple hits from Odor, but Odor does have the Atrophy Aura working against him for now. No chances in the vicinity, but getting a kill on this Void is an absolute tall order. Meanwhile, Blizzard, he's going in here. You've also got Ova coming in once again. The Rupture as well as the Crippling Fear Silence. This is the death on the Magnus. Nothing you can do about it. Once again, Ova making the plays, diving in deep along with Blizzard, scoring him yet another kill. That's 2 successive deaths on the Magnus, and I believe his TP should be on cooldown.
Good stuff coming out from Ova and Blizzard. They're just waiting for the Bloodseeker to hit 6. Bottom lane though, Order goes in. He doesn't have the Chronosphere just yet, but they're just focusing on to no chance. And with the Fortunes, and they have the control, they have the damage. And Oracle goes his first kill, if I'm not mistaken. They're looking for more though. Order still not level 6. A few creeps could die and give him a little bit of EXP. But Extract just turns around, gets time locked. The Sunstrike not even needed, but Crowley unloads the Sonic Wave. Scores 2 kills in return.
And the third one's not going to happen. Time and space created for Crowley to come in and clean up the mess that his teammates were creating on the bottom lane. That's still advantage for Signify. They've taken a commanding lead here in the early game stage. They've turned the tables and they've now walked ahead with 1500 net worth in their favor. Crowley's managed to make a successful rotation with his first Sonic Wave on the bottom side of the map, and Odor, well, he's got his Chronosphere available now, but he's going to be pressured under his own tier 1 tower, which is taking a significant amount of damage here, courtesy the pop and Extract.
Actually need the Oracle as well as the Sunstrike if he hopes to score a kill inside the Chronosphere this early on. The problem though is that they popped a glyph, the Siege Wagon is still there, and Extract could quite easily try and apply some pressure on this tower.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's looking to drop down a Firestorm to get him some leeway to go for the tower. It will be the Dire that takes the kill, but meanwhile on the top side, Oracle moves in with the Nyx Assassin, and Magnus, after an RP being committed, will score a kill on Blizzard. Meanwhile at mid, they've gone in on the Invoker yet again. This will be the 4th death of the Invoker if it does take place, and Ova wants to make sure it does, but Lumic has other plans of his own. Here comes the Fortune Dance coming out from the Oracle. No chance getting controlled up, and will be brought down as he turns around for a Fade Bolt. Ova still trying to chase that Invoker, but Invoker seems to be long gone for now. As the Impale will connect, the Force Spirit will do its work. Ova could be losing his life as the Void enters the fray and scores the kill. Execration finding their own recovery of sorts here.
At that time around, Execration was just a lot more prepared with their rotations, and they committed the Chronosphere onto Crowley, the Meteor, the Sunstrike, the hit, and a double kill for the Void.
That's a dominating streak taken away as well. What a beautiful way to start off with your Chronosphere on Hodor. Execration really bounding back with full force here, getting the Graphs back up in their territory.
You know, a long time ago, back in the Beyond Infinity days, I used to always try and gather a little insight from the players, and I remember asking Blizzard, what's missing in Indian teams? And of course, there are a lot of things, but one of the things that he pointed out was that we don't play as fast as the rest of Southeast Asia. But this time around, I'm actually surprised that Signify are able to maintain the pace and tempo that's keeping up with that set by Execration. They would have liked to keep the Queen of Pain alive, but yeah.
I think one of the issues with that is that Execration can now just cycle through their big cooldowns between the Void and the Magnus, and with that they can try and make plays or happen almost all the time. So it puts Signify under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Radiant are scattered.
It's 2 minutes till the next night time. It's also around 60 seconds until the Chronosphere comes off cooldown. The RP though is available. But Ova and Crowley just grouping up, moving towards the bottom lane. Lumix on the Nyx, also TPs, and is undercover Vendetta. Ova does have detection, he's holding on to it. He pops it now, they see Lumic, he pops the Spike Carapace, and they're just gonna run him down with the Void. I'm not sure the Void really wants to come and keep his Nyx alive. It's gonna let him go.
Yeah, but that was the darkness, a dust, and a rotation from the queen that doesn't result in a void kill. Possibly not the best way for Signify to utilize their smoke.
I think Over's just running straight into them. He's flying over the Oracle's head, comes down, gets the crippling tear off as well as the void. Blizzard nearby with the rupture, with the blood drive. But Signify, it'd be silly of them to die near a tier 2 at this point. And it seems as if Over could be the one getting punished here.
It's daytime
Actually,
as well
Magnus.
now, but no one teeping into the shrine. Meanwhile, Magnus has plans of his own. Lift from no chance just before the RP connects. The cast point too long on the RP there. And now Crowley with the Arcane Rune comes into the fray. He has the Sonic Wave if he wants to shoot it out there. Will fire it out, but it misses! He got the scream but not the wave, and Magnus still survives. He holds on to the RP, catches two, the chrono on top of it as well. Oh my god, that was absurd and absolutely beautiful coming out from the Magnus. A whiffed Sonic Wave because of a juke in the trees, followed up by a patient RP that catches the queen as she blinks in.
Yeah, in India, a cricketing heavy nation, that's what we call a wide ball. Where the ball just misses everything. And that was a beauty of a juke coming out from the Magnus. He almost baited out Crowley to force out that Sonic Wave. And Crowley, I mean, he held on to that Sonic Wave and tried to guess to the best of his ability, but he was playing without any vision. And ended up not securing the kill there.
Yeah, very interesting in fact though, because usually you'd want to make a run towards the side shop to buy your TP, but instead he just got himself inside a corner over there and waited it out patiently.
I think we lost you for a second again, but the Oracle being chased, the false promise not keeping him alive, and the mega kill streak taken away, gone into the pockets of Over.
You want to hold on, man. I'm not in the game yet. I've got to jump right back in.
Oh, you disconnected, okay.
Yeah, I disconnected.
I was wondering.
So
Anyway,
here's a quick reconnect. Don't worry guys, we'll be back into the game really soon.
so Signify grouped up, they were somewhere near the Radiant Tier 2, they saw the Oracle, they brought down the Oracle, and they took away his mega kill streak. And all that gold going into the pockets of Over. And he's hunting for more. He sees Hodo. This is when Void doesn't have the Chronosphere. Now would be a nice chance to go on them. The Blood Ride being thrown on top. TP's coming in. The Pit of Malice holding the Void in place. And Hodo can't do much. Lumic does pop this Vendetta and he's trying to make a run for it. Do they have detection? I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but they didn't want to give chase. Blizzard.
So no chance actually stole a Vendetta and he's now going in. He gets tagged with the tornado, but behind him got Crowley coming in. Invoker, he's out of spells, he's out of life, he's gonna lose his life while Lumic will turn around and get the kill and no chance. Lumic though will pay for that with his own as it's a double kill over to Crowley. Execration actually fumbling quite a bit here and are about to lose a tier 2 tower because of it.
Yeah, the Invoker needs to be really careful. He needs to only show on the map after he sees a Chronosphere that's been committed on a couple of cores, or an RP that's been committed on a couple of cores. Because for some reason, Crowley seems to hate that guy a lot. Just unloads the Sonic Wave on him. No hesitancy coming out of there from Crowley.
Magnus, meanwhile, his dagger is almost complete, so the RPs will get significantly easier the next time around. No chance. He could be in trouble here. I mean, I don't know if Magnus is willing to commit an RP here, but if he does, the Sunstrike on top with the Shockwave could be a confirmed kill. I mean, it does make some sense to blow the RP on the Magnus here, but the problem is it's nighttime for a minute and a half, which means that the Rubik could just respawn and, you know, the whole team
And
could
then
just
you'd
group
be
up.
not having a key teamfight component.
Lumic, meanwhile, he's gone looking again on the cover of his Vendetta. It is the level 1 Vendetta, so for now he's just going to use it to scout, not to go exactly looking for a kill unless he finds like a straggler Rubik. But stragglers are abound here on the other side as they'll find the Magnus and bring him down. But he did buy his Blink Dagger just before his death.
It is nighttime, but Void has his Chronosphere, Magnus has his RP. Could possibly be go time for Execration once the Magnus respawns.
No stone unturned here. Extract even denying that top tier 1 tower, preventing the gold swing from happening here. Hodor actually jumps in there. I'm not sure what he was thinking. But
I mean,
I certainly don't think it's enough for just a Chronosphere plus Sunstrike to bring him down on the Underlord. Anyway, over. I'm gonna run into Lumic now, but they don't have the detection to see this. Lumic's even gonna spot Crowley out as he makes his way towards the top side. Now they ought to know that there's something happening here. Lots of pings coming out towards Lumic, who's still giving vision now. He's walking into Crowley, smacks him with the Vendetta, but doesn't quite get the impale off. Crowley will survive because of that, and the RP will not be committed, but the Pit of Malice will. It's tagging 1, it's tagging 2. Lumic actually walked into the pit there and got himself rooted. Crowley unloads the Sonic Wave, and then the Chronosphere comes on top of him. The Sunstrike is gonna fall next, but it's a Blood right in the middle of the fray. It's a dead Magnus, it's a dead Nyx Assassin, and soon it's gonna be a dead Void. Execration may have found 1, but they lose 3 for it. And Signify are happy with that.
Yeah, that went horribly wrong for Execration. I mean, that was their fight to win. They
Oh, they
had
might lose
everything
more.
they needed. Mid lane though, Invoker getting chased, caught in the Pit of Malice, over low on mana, still does have another Void to work with. But yeah, I mean, Execration couldn't have asked for a more ideal fight on paper. They had the Blink RP, they had the Chronosphere, everyone was nearby, they had vital information about Signify's movements thanks to the Nyx Assassin. The only thing that was against them was it was nighttime.
Oh yeah, and well now for 3 minutes they have a window to try and make something happen as Lumic immediately pops his Vendetta and goes on the hunt. You can't kill off the Night Stalker, he's got a good 1600 HP. You can possibly kill off the Rubik, but he has a sentry here. Time dilation used first. Doesn't matter, no lift available. Actually he didn't lift him in time, surprisingly enough.
The Invoker is going to be a little pissed off. I mean, he'd ideally be hoping to score that kill with the Sunstrike, but no chance, just duked him out and Oracle had to secure the kill instead.
Up top.
I mean, that's Invoker's recovery, right? Because it's 18 minutes and he's nowhere close to his Ag Scepter. I mean, he's missing 2 components.
Yeah,
it's going to be a while. It's not too shabby a timing, but not too ideal either.
Yeah, especially for Midas Invoker, it's been slowed down quite a bit. It's worrisome when you have a Midas on your hero and you're not... Okay, let's hold that thought because up top. Got the RP into the skewer, but he skewered him right next to X-Rag, who has the Greaves! Easiest kill of his life. I don't know what the hell that was actually. Lumic. He's coming under a dire sentry. I'm not sure what Owa was doing there. He should have spotted that out.
I'm just rechecking if that is a dire sentry. Anyway, backup is on the way. It's Crowley all by himself. No chance, can't close the gap. But yeah, that is a dire sentry. Why? I'm not sure.
It's possible that he didn't have vision on the low ground there. While he may have had true sight, he didn't have vision because the creep wave was further up.
Okay. Wasn't he standing on the high ground?
He was on the high ground, but he was a little further back. I'm not sure if he had vision there.
Okay,
I see no other reason for that though. Lumic.
Lumic caught in the blood, right? Another circle on top. It's a nice Venn diagram coming out from Signify. The false promise though keeps the Nyx alive. The Sonic Wave thrown on top. Lumic might just survive. And you do get added regeneration, if I'm not mistaken, when you're under the effects of the false promise. He's just going to get back to his fountain. Invoker trying to do the same. Ovado cancels the TP. They've got the rupture along with the blood right. Invoker low on mana. No luck either to work with. And Blizzard now dominating on that Bloodseeker.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think I saw an extended TP duration on that Invoker, which is why he ended up dropping. But that's just a really crucial pick-off coming out from Signify. While they didn't get the kill at the middle lane, they got a crucial kill on the Invoker, which is a higher priority target than the Nyx Assassin, to be honest. And that'll set his Aghanim Scepter back a bit again. But he's almost got it.
I get the feeling that Signifier on a clock, to some extent, in the sense that if you give the Void and the Magnus, especially, I mean, the Void, the Magnus, the Invoker enough time, they're just going to get fatter and fatter. And all it's going to take is like one decent or half-decent chrono for most of your team to be evaporated by the Invoker.
It's like you mentioned, there's 2 heroes with gold per minute talents on the side of Execration.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't afford to let this game go on for too long, because the moment the Void gets his online, which is coming online at level 20, and for the Magnus first at level 15, that's when they're really going to start making recoveries with their big items.
And both are huge teamfight control heroes, I mean, with the RP, with the Chronosphere, and you got Invoker to just follow up with a little bit of damage. Magnus though, I mean, That's not how you want to have your mid game going. Gets picked off for the second time by himself.
Dire scan as well near the pit, so they know that someone is lurking here. Possibly expecting the Void to be in the pit taking Roshan, but they made it obvious that they're moving towards the pit with that creep wave coming in towards them. Instead, up top you've got Lumic moving towards Blizzard. Blizzard's got a full Sanjay Yasha though, so he is fairly tanky and won't be that easy to bring down. They're gonna walk around though and find the Oracle instead. The Oracle's found no chance as well. A Chrono committed for no chance? Really? I don't think that's the way you want to be running this. That's gonna be a Void that gets, well, the Invoker that gets the kill on him and then makes a run for it, but behind you've got the kill coming out onto Hodor's Void. Totally worth it for Signify trading a Rubik for a Void and a Chronosphere.
Yeah, I mean, if that was possibly an off-lane Void and you're trying to enable your Invoker, I'm just trying to find a justification where that makes sense. He goes and pops the Chrono for the Rubik. It's also possible that Hodor on the Void didn't have vision, just assume that he could possibly catch another hero. It's just unfortunate that he caught only a Rubik. At least Invoker gets a kill and gets out alive, but your one position Void ends up dying for no reason at all.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I guess it was a zoning Chrono of sorts to try and get someone on the backlines as well as the Rubik there, but unfortunately he only got the Rubik. Extra stayed out of it, and you know, because of that he got a Pit of Malice off, which got 2. But
Yeah.
Void actually opted to go for Lincoln's first, by the way. Let's hold that thought, because Nyx has been scouted out here, but not scouted long enough. I think it's time to pick up the gem. I love what Ova's done. He's queued up both the gem as well as the Aghanim Scepter. So it's Ag's first, Flying Vision, and then my gem comes online. Ova.
And he's walking into the Magnus, starts off with the crippling fear, no detection, but here comes no chance with the sentry. They're controlling him with the blood right there. 1v and RP that comes at the end of this, and he's already moved on to the backlines. Ova not wasting any time. Once the Oracle, Crowley comes in with the Shadow Strike, the Fate's Edict soaking up a lot of that magical damage, but Crowley's just gonna right click him down and scores an easy double.
Execration are crumbling here, and Signify can sense it. They're just pummeling holes into them time and again. That Queen of Pain is getting massive at this point, and so too is Blizzard. He's got his brand spanking new BKB picked up now. 10 seconds of magic immunity in the face of the Invoker is a godsend at this point. X-Drag on the bottom side with his Greaves and 2 Bracers. There's no way you're gonna kill him with just a Nyx and an Invoker Sunstrike.
I mean, they've got the Chronosphere, but is the Underlord really worth it?
I don't even think he dies at this point. Maybe if you commit a Meteor as well, he'll die, but...
I mean, now I'm actually worried for the Void, but this could all be a good opportunity for the Invoker to follow up.
Oh, you
the
ruptured him.
They managed to get it off after they broke his Lincoln Spear, but he's just going to TP out of there.
Yeah, Ova just a tad bit too far away there.
I think Signify just need to give Ova a minute or creep wave, and he's going to have his Ag Scepter complete. I really like Ova's itemization on the Night Stalker because, I mean, this seems pretty... Oh, hold on. Mid lane. They got a high value kill without committing too much. Yeah,
that was the Nyx at his shenanigans again. It's really priority on Ova's farm now. Let him get the gem after that Aghanim Scepter and then just move together. Because, I mean, the 5-man may not be entirely stronger, but Signify has the ability to move around the team fight, skirt around them with the blinks and the mobility on Blizzard, and try and bait out some wasteful spells. There's a DD rune, Roshan is up, there's a stolen Empower on no chance as well. Blizzard and Signify are in a good spot right now. There's just the one little hitch, which is that it's daytime for another 4 minutes. But they have the darkness if they want to fight.
They have the darkness. And one needs to get that gem up and going as soon as possible.
I love how they're just sticking next to the sentry, hoping that the Nyx comes to them.
It's actually smart. I mean, why do you need to go out, get picked, and give Execration some more time to recover? All you need to do is play around your vision. If nothing else, I guess No Chance should be spending all his gold and life savings on just sentries and Crusade till the gem comes online.
Well, they smoked, but I think that smoke was caught on the tail end of this Observer Ward. At least the smoke trail was caught, but uh-oh! Magnus gonna get hit with the Atos and then the silence. He came back to the middle lane with what seems like a greedy play. There's the lift to cancel his TP, so that false promise is only going to delay the inevitable, which will indeed be his death. No RP going to be committed as he dies. It'll just be a standalone death for him. Signify, they've got an opportunity here to take a tower.
And this is possibly the last tier 2 tower left for Signify to take. But instead, they're just grouping up, abusing the Night Stalker vision. They sense that the Invoker's by himself, but a Fourth Spirit is going to catch out over. While the Invoker just turns around, tosses a tornado, and TP's right the hell out of there. This is possibly go time for the Void. The Night Stalker definitely is scouted out by the Invoker, but look at that, X-Drag. Invoker's just going to take them away.
I mean, X-Drag had, Blood Rage was put up on a siege creep there to finish the job as they just ran away. Some real discipline coming out from Signify, not getting greedy for that one tower kill.
It is in nighttime for 2 minutes. This is possibly go time for Execration, and that seems to be the call. They popped the smoke. Hodo leads the charge with the Lincoln Sphere, with the Mask of Madness.
Look at the triangulated wards though coming out from the Radiant.
Oh,
Bottom.
I missed this. Lumix chasing Crowley down. Once again, this Nyx Assassin, along with the Invoker, team him up and getting key kills.
Yeah, the problem is Queen is the most susceptible to this
top
duo.
lane, they've caught Blizzard. The Meteor's on its way, along with the Deafening Blast, as well as the Cold Snap. The Glimmer Cape, the Guardian Greave, not enough. No Chance steals the Chrono, but he needs to be careful with how he positions it. Hodor just leaps forward aggressively with the Time Walk, and the Time Dilation will slow No Chance down. No Chance drops the Chrono, gets a little bit of movement speed. Elsewhere, Invoker with the Tornado, he's got the key catch there. X-Rag all by himself at his shrine. He's tagged it, he's trying to stay alive through all of this, but it's just X-Rag in Nova. And Nova is just going to ducktail and run. Hold on to that gem.
That was such a no chance thing to do. Chronosphere and lift your skirt and run. But good fight coming out from Execration. That really turns the tables in their favor in a massive way. I just don't see why they stuck around. I mean, I guess they had no intel actually because they hadn't seen anyone on the map. So Execration caught them off guard after Crowley died on the other side of the map.
Yeah, Crowley really didn't need to be on the other side of the map. That was more costly than he could imagine because Execration, knowing that the Queen is out of the fight, just made a move on to Signify. And it was daytime, so they were having that slight edge in terms of vision.
Now, this is where Execration might be making a mistake. Darkness is kicked in and it'll transition over to natural nighttime. The Rupture to start things off. A gem available on the Night Stalker as well. They're going in for the Oracle. They'll cancel his TP. They'll get a kill and maybe even get Roshan here for themselves.
They could. I mean, Void doesn't have Chronosphere. Magnus does, however, have his RP.
And he's picked up a Shadow Blade as well, but it doesn't matter. They have the gem on the Night Stalker.
I guess Execration just have to concede Roshan. They
Yeah,
can't
no
walk
real
into the
choice.
pit with the Night Stalker.
Oh, Magnus is gonna get spotted by the NS. They managed to steal off an Empower as well, so some bonus damage gonna kick in here. That's a dead Magnus as well for 50 seconds. Lumic, he's going for the Aegis steal. Gets the Aegis! He stole it! I mean, that's some space created, but he's still gonna die for it.
This Nyx Assassin, such a pain in the ass. I mean, he's single-handedly creating space for Execration. And all of that was enough time for the Invoker as well as the Void to push out the top lane and get a tier 2 tower.
Yeah, there's another DD rune on the bottom side meanwhile though. I think Signify is still not too peeved by that.
That isn't... I mean, I wouldn't be happy with that.
Yeah, but I mean, you got two additional kills in addition to just that Roshan. And you did get the Roshan kill, which means a bit more gold does go in your way. Sure, you lost the Aegis, but you killed the Nyx after it for it anyway, so it's not like anyone has an Aegis now. Over. Confidently walking in here, sees that Magnus who blinks away immediately. I mean, the game plan here does seem to be keep Blizzard somewhere in the vicinity so that when we start a fight and if someone gets low, he can get into the fight at a moment's notice. He's heading for the Skadi next, so the extra stats will most certainly help, not to mention the bonus slow that's going to come out, allowing him to keep the chase going. If No Chance can keep stealing these empowers away from the Magnus, the damage output from Blizzard is going to continue to be huge.
think Signify have had enough. Ova wants to find a pick off and try and close this game as soon as possible. They're just aggressively posturing down the mid lane. He's got the gem, he's got the axe. He's just gonna march down mid.
Yeah, he's also extended that night time now with the darkness that's been popped. I believe Signify will still play it safe though. They know that the game is sort of in their hands right now. They've got a fair advantage coming out, especially with the fact that Blizzard has yet to use his BKB. There's 10 seconds of immunity inside of a Chronosphere, and at this point there's really no way they beat him up with just physical DPS. I mean, even if you throw an Empower and an Alacrity on the Void, I think it's not enough to bring down a Bloodseeker by himself in that Chrono.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Void's chosen to pick up the Mask of Madness though, so I mean in addition to the Yasha as well as that Lincoln skill, so he will
he
hit
had the
fairly
Master
hard.
Madness. He's possibly picking up a Manta style just to deal with the extra control coming out from the Queen of Pain and the Night Stalker.
Yeah, and the Bloodseeker actually. In fact, I think this is a game where he needs a BKB.
Execration though, they're on the hunt. I mean, they're mighty close to Signify. Ova though is on the other side of the river, so he doesn't have vision of all of this.
What's next for Signify? What are they looking for? I mean, you've got a Butterfly queued up for Blizzard and a BKB for Crowley. I think it's the BKB.
On Crowley?
Yeah, I think they wait for the BKB and then they
got the BKB. Okay, so it's going to be harder for the Knicks to get the solo kills across the map on the Queen of Pain. One, because of the BKB, and two, because Signify pretty much just grouping up around Ova and that ridiculous vision. Look at this though. Execration smoked up. Magnus leading the charge. Adini in the river. Crowley just jumps in. He's got the Orchid on the Ova. Excuse me, the Oracle. But Crowley's caught in the RP. He didn't get time to pop his BKB. The Sunstrike upon him. Now he pops his BKB. Turns around. Somewhere in the middle of that, No Chance stole the RP. And Crowley jumps right on top of the Oracle. But Hodor holds the door. Drops the Chrono. Controls the Queen of Pain. And with the shockwave from outside, she's been taken down. Blizzard just runs in. They're trying to bring down the Oracle. They finally brought down the Oracle. And Hodor on the run. But he's running towards the wrong shrine. Sure, he gets off a good time dilation, but he's being controlled and he's going to be brought down somewhere in the middle of that. Invoker fell as well.
This was an absolutely insane fight coming out. The RP connects just on the Quap. The Quap survives through it all, goes into the pit, and then they commit a Chronosphere for her as well. You threw everything at the Queen of Pain if you're on Execration side, but you ended up opening up yourself and opening up your flanks for the rest of Signify to punish you. And that's exactly what happened. And I mean, of course, you got to credit No Chance for that stolen RP over there, just shaving some time off of the Magnus. It was a one-man RP returned by No Chance as well, but an RP that he wasn't supposed to have to begin with.
I mean, if No Chance had a mobility item, that RP could have been a lot worse. But Signify is just moving down mid. Magnus just catwalks through the mid lane, gets the hell out of that blood right. Thank God he has a 4-star. Nyx walking in with a spike carapace, but nobody really gives a damn. They're going to focus the tier 3 and that Uber's been prepped up. Sure, you can get that impale, but they're just going to get out of there anyway.
Yeah, chip damage, a fortification force, and a quick clean escape coming out from Signify. They're going to come back at night time, I believe.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes until the next night time. And they didn't force any buybacks, which is good for Execration. It's still, what's buyback status looking like? Okay, they haven't got buybacks for the moment. But yeah, Signify, they have to play safe until it hits nighttime once more. They have to be really cautious not to get picked off.
Interesting stuff coming out though from both teams, because you've still got the Graph sitting close to the break-even point here. So while Signify may be in the driver's seat in the last few fights, Execration are still farming a bit more efficiently. Mostly on that Invoker and on that Magnus.
Solo RP, they hate No Chance for some reason. Ova trying to find something in return. Now his team isn't too close by. He might lose the gem. I'm not sure what the intention is. Hodo even drops the Chronosphere. Somebody has a Helm of the Dominator creep and Ova is just gonna fly away. But not that easily. Crowley comes to the party. They got the Pit of Malice. They're controlling the Magnus. And the Orchid will make sure he falls. A Sonic Wave for good measure, but the gem. That's the gem.
I believe it was recovered by Extract, yeah. That
Okay,
was an
X-Ray
RP and a Chronosphere committed for 2 supports on the side of Signify.
Yep.
And
it's 1
somewhere in
minute
the
until
middle, that
nighttime.
stupid mud golem walks in and smacks the void on his head. That tickled me for some
yeah.
reason.
The mud golem's actually cute if you look at it from that spectator view. It's ridiculously cute.
Signify now moving through the middle lane, but they're doing so without the Night Stalker and his vision advantage, while Execration are wrapping around on him, but they're doing so without any sort of big control spells available. I wouldn't say Execration are out of this just yet. In fact, they've actually taken the net worth lead once again. But Lumic, he's walking into Blizzard. Where's X-Rag? He's up, sitting as a human observer ward, and he sees him. Atos, Pit of Malice, the double root comes out, but how are you gonna stop his TP now?
I mean, he really didn't need the... I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he needed to throw both of them there.
No chance. Not going for the GPM talent. Instead, going for the plus 60 damage. So that he can right-click that pesky Magnus.
They're gonna go up towards the
Uber
top
in
lane.
the top lane, Invoker by himself. He does have the use in the Lincoln Spear, but he's fought the whole party with them, X-Rag. And look at that. I don't know how Signify knew that they were coming.
I mean, they TP'd in on 2 remaining mini mud golems.
Mini mud golems.
How
exactly.
clutch does it get, man? It can't get any more clutch than that.
I honestly, I mean, I'm not too perturbed by whatever the outcome of this game may be, but that play was just pure entertainment.
That was amazing to watch, to be honest.
You had a Helm of the Dominator creep from Nova, just waiting for Mr. Uber to join in.
And I
And
think the Invoker might have actually Midas that creep himself. I'm not too certain about this, so...
No, they were...
Just chilling over there in the
I'm
top
not
lane,
certain, but
casual
they were just mud
baby
golems, I'm
golems,
not-
just...
So if you drop your Helm of the Dominator, they disassemble. I mean, they split into 2, the mud golems.
Yeah,
think I've seen
I
RPs
have
do it.
no clue how that works, man. I know what clip you're talking about. I saw it and my brain still hurts when I look at it.
That's easy, man. He makes your brain hurt one way or the other. And entertains you. Anyway,
Roshan,
Signify, they're waiting for Roshan. But this is also time for the Chronosphere as well as the RP to come online. They're playing it cautious. But Execration might be coming with all their big ultimates. A Sunstrike into the pit. No one from the side of Signify showing though.
just 1 more minute total. Roshan's back. Less than a minute actually. 40 seconds now.
It's actually scary, but if you toggle Radiant Vision, they literally have no vision. I mean, usually all they see is no chance, which is why they're committing everything on no chance. And then you want to smoke and go, but Ova's this beast with an Ag Scepter and a gem. It's a little hard for Execration to approach team fights, and it's I don't know, it's gonna take 1 key ultimate for them to win a team fight and then probably swing back into this game.
Yep, the next team fight is going to be crucial because it'll either mean a tier 3 or a Roshan takedown for the victor of that skirmish. Void, he's got himself a Manta Style as well, so he is hitting very hard, but Oracle now got out in the middle lane, has a TP and does trying to get away, so he'll force Glimmer Cape and TP out to safety.
Ova saw him, no chance was there with his blink, but somehow no chance sensed that he wasn't close enough to get the telekinesis off. Lumic still trying his best to create space, man. Sniping the Courier all by himself.
Yeah, the Execration are playing this well now. They're really buying time and, you know, forcing Signify to slow things down while the nighttime is still in effect.
Top tower is under
And this is, like you pointed out, without any real vision for them. So it's some risks being taken by them, but risks that are starting to pay off and create space for them.
Odo, inching closer and closer to the wrong base.
I mean,
Overrunning.
with the Manta and that extra potential diffusal blade that's going to come out on him, he's going to be hitting fairly hard. Especially when you throw an Alacrity as well as an Empower upon him. So a target in the Chronosphere could be taken apart just by the Void himself. But it's unlikely that it's going to be Blizzard. He's picked up his Butterfly now as well. He's got himself
Looking at the-
27 armor in addition to the evasion and magic immunity. This is such a difficult kill now.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a lot of magic damage coming out from the Invoker if they hope to bring down this Bloodseeker.
I wonder if he goes for the Life Steal talent this game as opposed to the Blood Rite cooldown. Nah, I think the Blood Ride cooldown is just too tempting.
I mean, you're more likely to build a lifesteal item over a cooldown item, I guess.
Yeah. That's one way of looking at it. They've ridden out the storm though. Daytime has kicked in, the sun has risen, and Nyx continues to be on the prowl. With the Force Staff and the Blink Dagger, he's fairly survivable, but not like this. Over, he's invis himself and he sees Lumic. He's gonna start with the Silence, the Void, the double root again. That's the second time X-Drag has done this.
And what's interesting is Execration have taken that time and space to even out in terms of towers. Now, both sides don't have any tier 2 standing. Signify does have buyback on the Quap, but a death now could be costly for Signify. Any death on any one of these cores could really cost them.
I'm not too sure what's up with this Atos plus Pit of Malice coming out from X-Drag, because the Pit of Malice does root anyway.
I could be wrong and somebody's gonna kill me for this, but I don't think Atos cancels TPs. Although it is a root.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably come and kill you for this anyway.
Okay.
That's
Or maybe-
implying that Searing Chains doesn't cancel TP. Think of it that way.
No. Pit of Malice does, but Atos doesn't. So basically he could start out with the Atos and...
I'm
and
pretty sure
then
Atos
you-
cancel TPs, man.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Whatever. It's been a while since I built that as well. Anyway, Crowley. He's got himself that BKB with 9 seconds on it still to go, and he's also picked up an armor item now to deal with some of the physical deeps coming out. The GPM talents have kicked in here. You can see Execration pulling further and further ahead in terms of net worth, bit by bit, but they're still behind in terms of EXP. And yeah, I think this is largely attributed to the GPM talents. There was a BKB pop by Crowley. Invoker forces that one out and bails before getting picked off, and this is with a 5-man movement from Signify. Execration is making them dance to their tunes and are showing that they are the more experienced squad here.
Yeah, I mean, they're ratting them beautifully. Magnus, though, with that refresher, might be a wee bit out of position. I'm not sure Signify expecting 2 RPs. Crowley just blinks into the trees. His smoke pops. He knows that there's someone in the vicinity. He doesn't have his BKB. Pops the whale, gets caught in the chrono. Hoda unloading. Magnus waiting patiently. Crowley doesn't have a BKB. Agrees would be nice from X-Drag, and finally it does come out. Rupture on top of the wide. They've penetrated his linkage, and there's the Sonic Wave. Magnus taken out of the equation without even popping the RP. The chronosphere expended, and Roshan possibly on the cards, but they've lost their tier 3 tower.
Yep, they ended up paying almost the ultimate price with the tier 3 being taken apart. But Roshan is up for grabs like you stated, and this could be go time for Signify. They can't dilly-dally anymore. They have to take this objective and take a bigger one immediately after. That tier 3 at middle lane is fairly low as well, so they can balance the scales once again. But it's daytime. That's gonna be nighttime soon.
I have a question for you. I mean, I've been watching most of the Signify games, and sometimes I sense that they just don't move effectively enough across the map. Should X-Drag be the one who's dealing with the split push coming out from Execration? Or see, like the bottom lane is pushing again, there's nobody left to defend it. Now Signify has scrambled up. By the time they group up, there's going to be Void with Chronosphere, Magnus with RP. I just sometimes feel that they're not at the right place at the right time.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure what to make of that. I don't really have an opinion that might be, an apt one. But wait, we'll hold that thought for now, because Numic, Vendera's in, Pop makes a BKB happen, Vendera's out. Mana burn would really hurt him though. So Signify's gonna go in now. They've left Crowley to defend the base, and now he's making his way towards the mid with the blink once again, and the tier 3 will fall. So they did balance the scales here. But here we go, hold on, jump in, he doesn't have a Chronosphere available. The roots are coming out, the Blood Rite thrown down onto the floor. It's a stolen time walk. So no chance, adds some more mobility to his arsenal, as X-Drag will call them a cab home. Crowley, so he went bottom, defended a wave, BKB'd up, blinked towards the middle lane, and then TP'd back home. That's what happened in the last minute for him.
Yeah, I mean, if Signify see this game, I mean, they have to look at their games from a more macro perspective. I sometimes feel that they're not just moving effectively enough as a unit. These small inefficiencies could just make them a lot better as a team, because they are playing reasonably well.
Yeah, so just to add on to your point about map movements, I think we're at the point in the game where there are so many variables and so many factors. There we go, X-Drag learning from his mistakes.
Yeah, did the ADOS first and then the Pit of Malice, while on the other side of the map, Invoker gets a shrine.
Dire's top shrine
Um,
has fallen.
Has Extra got BOTs? Not yet. Okay. Over. Sees the Oracle. He's had enough. I mean, he wants to force out the false promise. The crippling fear is not going to let the Oracle go for a bit. Hodo jumps in with the Chronosphere Invoker on ready with the damage, with the meatball. Secures the kill. Extra gets a beauty of a bit of malice. The false promise comes out along with the Fate's Edict, but Crowley, he's just pounding away with the right clicks. Elsewhere, Blizzard manages to get the Rupture on the Void. They control Hodo. They might be bringing down Hodo. They get the kill on the Void as well as the Oracle, while Magnus with the Refresher Orb just spectates from the vicinity.
Yeah, I also believe they recover the gem there. Extract picks it up once more.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But it still feels like Signify are just not able to push out quickly enough, and they're not able to go and take a lane of barracks.
Mid lane.
No
Is
chance.
there more hate for no chance? There is. Extract with the ADOS can blink in and get the Greaves in the pit. No chance he'll have the time walk. This might be bait all along. He does manage to force stuff out of the Pit of Malice and he's making a run for it. Crowley didn't have the necessary control. Look at them taking turns. The Magnus goes out, the Nyx goes right back in. And Invoker is nearby. They could at the very least force out a BKB from Crowley.
It has to happen. They have to make it happen here. They need to get a kill. The Sunstrike is not going to be enough though. Because they have no RP, they have no Chronosphere. Like Chrono was meant to buy time after killing the Rubik, but the Rubik didn't die and that doesn't work out for Execration.
No, they have one more RP. They have the Refresher. Just like to see Signify split it up. Maybe one of them go top. Or maybe just focus on the melee barracks. Get one objective at the very least. Instead, it's Blizzard getting next to the tier 4s. He's got his BKB, he's got the Aegis as well. They drop the RP on top of Extract, on top of Blizzard. They really like to bring down this Underlord. But he's beefy, he's tanky. While Crowley just stood there. Trying to snap back the Underlord. The Uber was hijacked and Odo goes in. He turns around with the Chronosphere. There's Blizzard dropping. The Age is taken away. Over controlled as well. There's the Chronosphere that Execration were looking for all along. And it's Crowley by himself. Ova might have bought back. Blizzard drops the Blood Right. Crowley out of mana, out of luck, and forced to die. Blizzard all by himself. Is there anything he can do? He has no BKB, he has no teammates to work with, and he's trying to make a run for it. The Sunstrike waiting, the Fortunes end as well. A double kill for the Oracle, and Execration make the gold graph swing right back in their pockets.
How much work is this Magnus gonna do here, man? He gets the RP to control up Blizzard all the way behind. He gets the RP with Extract next to him as well. And then he cancels that Uber ride as well. Unbelievable stuff coming out from Execration. They're simply outplaying Signify here. And are walking away with a gold lead as well. With every passing second, those GPM talents are just gonna keep going to work. And it's actually put Signify on a clock here. Hodor, back in, gonna jump up on the high ground. The roots are there from the Pit of Malice, but the Manta will shrug it off. So he walks straight on out of there. This time though, they've got the Nyx and they're gonna lift him back inside of the base. Tornado with the Delta Split coming out from Signify. There's also a false promise thrown upon the Nyx though, so he's gonna get away from this for now. They're gonna keep the chase going. Signify with the Atos coming out, immediate purge off coming out from the Oracle. The Pit of Malice being thrown down, catches out to the Firestorm on top of it, but Ova unable to get enough work done. He's trying to make his way out. He's gonna get stunned, Tornado rooted, and everything gonna be thrown at him. They're even gonna get their spells cooling down soon. A gem gets dropped on the deck, and Signify will find themselves on the receiving end of these blows. Also, a casual double observer ward in the base.
Interesting mistake coming out from Signify. I mean, sure, they had the Night Stalker giving them vision. If they were going to come in this deep, I think Blizzard should have bought back by then. I mean, he had buyback, but he just watched the Night Stalker die. And a solo RP on Crowley. They're eliminating the Signify cores one by one. He's pretty much dead at this point, but manages to get the blink off. Hodor jumps forward aggressively, gets the Chronosphere, Blizzard inside of it. No chance steals it, drops it on the back, and Blizzard can turn this around. This could be set up for a good Blood Ride. The stolen Chronosphere is exactly what they need. The Pit of Malice along with the Blood Ride, but Hodor has the false promise upon him. He's tagged by the Rupture, so he is being controlled somewhat, and it's Blizzard's turn to go have. But they've got the control. Invoker turns around with the Tornado. Blizzard's skewered back by the Magnus, and Extract can't just close the gap. The Blood Ride thrown right back, but he's not doing any work with it. The Yules with the Sunstrike secures the kill, and there comes a buyback from Blizzard. Extract just forced to tuck tail and run. The Blood Ride trying to do its best to make Execration scam, but the Icarip is controlling Blizzard. The Fortunes end on top. The Pit of Malice holding the Void, but they just can't bring him down. Execration have come into the Signify base, committed murder and gotten away with it.
A lane of barracks, a bunch of forced buybacks, a bunch of kills as well, and they walk
They're
away
not
without
done.
losing anything. Heck,
Oda's
they don't even
still
walk
going
away.
for the tier 3. He gets the tier 3 and gets the hell out of there.
Oh my god, this is... Forget about salt in their wounds. This is like throwing red chili pepper in their wounds. This plus 500 skewer range is proving to be... I mean, Magnus is Batrider at this point. He is lassoing people out of the base and starting the fight on his terms. A stolen skewer is available on the Rubik now, but the RP will catch too. The BKBs were triggered, but no chance. Skewers him to the side. A blood drive thrown on the floor. It'll be Extract that's gonna lose his life first. Blizzard's about to face a dieback. Magnus just... like a freight train through the base, goes in and out with those skewers again, backs away, but Blizzard still running, not running long enough and gets taken down. Underlord sent up into the air, comes back down with a Pit of Malice, catches out 3, but where's the damage from Signify without a Bloodseeker? It's tornado after tornado, pit after pit, a Chronosphere on top of it all, and it's gonna be a dead Underlord first. That means the Atrophy aura's worn off, and Hodor can go ham. Gonna bring them all down with the GG called out. Execration will take a win after a fairly massive comeback here versus Signify, and thus ends Signify's journey through the SEA regional qualifiers of the PGL Bucharest Open Dota 2 Minor. Or, I mean, at least that's what I believe, because we don't have information about the format.
What a game. Execration absolutely bullying Signify towards the end. It was painful to watch. I mean, sure, they might have lost the early game, but they held on, they ratted when they had no vision, and towards the end, they were just slapping Signify like the silly little younger brother that they are. I mean, it reminds me of Itachi slapping Sasuke.
It was painful to watch, nonetheless.
It
But
was
amazing stuff
painful
from
to watch.
Execration. They've really shown some prowess here in the gameplay. That double GPM game is, I mean, you can never really count out a lineup with 2 heroes that have double GPM talents among them. But I think this is where we call it a day, ladies and gents. Big thank you for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure broadcasting these matches for you. We appreciate every single one of you that tuned into the live stream and offered your support on social media as well. Hope you guys have enjoyed. We'll be broadcasting a lot more open qualifiers and such from the Southeast Asian region over the coming weeks. So do follow the Twitch channel and do follow us on social media as well to know when we're going live next. I'm CloudX, with me was Vivek, and earlier on in the day we had Gambit. You can type !casters in our Twitch chat to know where we are at, and of course don't forget to hit like and follow buttons as well. I'll see you later, Vivek. I'll see you guys later on stream as well. A big thank you for tuning in once more. This is CloudX signing out. You know what, I'm just gonna play one more song before we sign out, just